Hey, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all of the other episodes, check the link in the description, stop by raprankings.com, or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. And please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to help us grow the channel and continue our journey as hip-hop's first and premier extreme podcast.
No matter how sick I was, how tired I was, I felt the obligation to my team, to the city of Chicago, to go out, give that extra effort.
The big story here tonight, the story concerning Michael Jordan's physical conditions. This Jordan arriving about 2 hours ago. He is suffering from flu-like symptoms.
I always felt that Michael liked it best when it was the toughest odds against him. And while it's never any fun to be sick, it just added to the legend.
The father, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome. Hello, everybody.
He's
Earlier this
here,
week, he was the sickest man.
Yeah, he was the sickest man.
The sickest man. I couldn't even eat applesauce. God.
You know, to keep in, I guess, in
I gotta ask a question. Hold on. Why would you eat applesauce in the first place?
Oh no!
Don't do this. You don't like applesauce?
No, it was literally I was going like from liquid diet to solid diet. Like that was like the first thing.
You don't like applesauce? No, Mel. I'm past the age of 5. I don't eat applesauce anymore.
Well, here's the thing. Get ready, old man, because you're gonna have to start eating it again one day. All right? You might as well make peace with it now. Okay, I understand not liking it. You can't
start doing the old man gimmick when you hit 30, Mel. We're in the same age bracket right now.
Right, we're both old. Exactly. Me, you, and Cam. We're up there, bro. We're the OGs now. Look, I don't like it either. Look, I knew I was in trouble when I went to a basketball game with my dad to see a family friend, and I was 24 at the time, and it's like, what was this, like 19-year-old came up to me, and he was like, oh, how old are you? Because he assumed I was his age. I was like 24. He was like, man, you slick old. I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean?
It comes for you. It comes for you quicker than you ever think.
I'm taking it in stride, man, but let's be fair. Okay, applesauce is kind of like a very non-adult thing, I guess, to eat. I love it when it's around, I feel weird getting it.
Oh, no, this was just because it was a bland thing. Because,
Got it.
Because it's like, I need to try to eat something with calories. I can't just keep drinking Powerade for all of my calories.
Now? These freaks who listen to our show are going to call up our hotline and be like, I'm calling in defense of Mel. I eat applesauce all the time. Keep doing your thing, Mel.
Yeah, well, listen, this is a false narrative because nobody ever calls in to defend me, okay? I'm always getting
yes, they do, Mel. The HEC has called in defense of Mel.
Wait.
Okay, I'm sure others.
Mel, I called in literally this season in defense of you. Hey, Ma remix.
This is very true. I gotta keep my victim narrative going though. It's like the underdog. I'm Davo and Moulz and the Rabu, they're Goliath.
I ain't no Goliath. Don't tell a Jewish person he's Goliath.
Yeah,
I'm Davo.
Wait, it was Goliath Jewish?
No, David was Jewish.
David was the tribe.
I don't be knowing about these people. I know one
you
of them
ain't David.
Nah.
Hit my Meltzer drop.
Oh, but
wait, there's a Meltzer drop?
Right? Yeah, we got it, yeah.
Debuted in the Dogfather Patreon exclusive.
Okay.
David heard I was trying to co-opt his identity. He hit me with that.
I'm not that color. I'm not black. So.
Okay. Varen, I didn't know. Listen, bro, I don't be knowing about. I know their names and like what they did. Like Ezekiel, something about some bones.
Wait till I tell you about Jesus, bro.
No, I know about him. We know about him. Okay, yeah, absolutely. We got to know about him. He's the main character.
He had a great run in Judaism, but unfortunately, he pulled a Kevin Nash, more money, less dates with this Christianity. So he stepped away. It's fine.
By the way, I'm Jewish.
No, some people say the Jews killed him. I vehemently disagree. Some say the Romans killed him. I said, absolutely they did. Absolutely they killed him.
They were the ones who handed down the verdict, right? So it's got to be the Romans.
I mean,
they got confused because Judas, okay? Judas was a traitor. So Judas sounds kind of similar.
I mean, I remember one thing from church is the monotone guy said he was crucified under Pontius Pilate. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like one of them emperors, right? So
that doesn't sound like a Jewish person.
It doesn't.
That
Pontius
is a Roman.
Pilate, never heard of him.
That is a Roman.
That's gotta be.
All right. Listen, we did a lot of things, we weren't no pilots.
You know what happened, though? Because it's like, when you have power, like the Lakers did last night, and they were able to hand a foul off to their teammate, which is ridiculous and you should never be able to do. But it's like the Romans heard that it was going to get pinned on them, and they were, they were just like, I'm not feeling
And Roman hasn't taken a pin since 2019 against Baron Corbin.
Exactly. So the Romans heard, they're putting the death of Jesus on you. They said,
I'm not feeling it.
Pass it off to the Jewish people. And that's what happened because they had all the authority. All right.
Right. So, wait, Jewish people found it. They said, wait, we did it? And, they said, oh, you must be living under a rock or something, redacted.
Oh, yeah, we got to.
I mean,
we got to bring that drop in now. Yeah. The Roman Reigns version of you didn't talk to Vince. Yeah. It's like, you got to hit him with that.
Sleeping under a rock or something, maybe.
All right. Yeah.
God.
Anyway.
Well, and that narrative about the chosen people comes from that Pasho play. So that Mel
Pasho.
Gibson.
Who's that? Passion Pit? I didn't really listen to too much of that kind of music back then, but, best of love to them all.
Yeah, they told the Romans to go take a walk.
According to that Pasho and stuff, the way they tried to present it was like the Romans was actually low-key feeling Jesus, but they didn't want an uprising. So they were like, listen, we got to do this, We hear the heat you're getting from the crowd. Like, you're over, but like...
Pharrell already said the last word on this because Pharrell settled the score, actually, back in 2008.
Pharrell?
Yeah.
What did he say?
I'll show you.
You'll show me?
Who's that? Here we go.
I love this song, by the way. Okay.
Hold up.
Oh, okay.
Listen, he says the Romans at some point.
All that because of the Romans. Okay, folks. Oh, brother.
More scrubbing than a mop to try to find that.
Shout out to mops. Not to get too off top, but like, listen, mops. I'm glad people came around and realized that there was an outdated mechanism, and I see more of them Swiffer wet jets. This is what we got to do. We got to stop sloshing it around and do what you got to do.
Still find this thing.
It depends on the kind of mop too, though. Is he scrubbing again?
The Romans.
This man is searching for the Romans. Okay, let me help
found
you
it.
out. Well, we just delivered in that sort of
He just says so much in this song. It's hard to find that one part,
Oh, this song is like an 8 plus 9 minus. So
it's a 9 plus, maybe 10 minus for me.
Okay, well, that's shit. Yeah, classic Cam, song. I was gonna say. So it's the what is it? The Novo virus?
Norovirus.
Norovirus. Where did you get that?
I don't know, but what I will say is that to keep it in sync with us sexualizing afflictions, we said, Jesse had was a colitis.
Coitus.
So coitus.
We turned it into coitus. You had the new room massage, okay? But you're good now.
Yeah,
you're good. All right.
Now
those new room massages, we canceled. Smart Rankings.
So how do I avoid this thing, Cam?
Don't go to a children's museum with a child that touches everything and then passes everything on to you. You're good.
I'm doing good in that regard.
Yeah, you're good.
Mel might be fucked.
Well, I heard it was through it's
You gotta stop hanging out with them kids, Mel.
It's through either contaminated food or someone that has it is around you.
Okay.
Yeah. And Bud got
contaminated food. What does that mean? Like, what are we talking?
It can literally just mean like someone that has it touched a piece of food. So like the time I got it before was like 2013. I got it from a Bacon McDouble on Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's rough. Christmas Eve?
Oh, I was sick for 2 days after that. Yeah.
All right, but you still got to enjoy the majority of the buttery week.
No, well, I was pizza delivering at that point. I was not enjoying the buttery week anyway.
Oh, man. Oh, listen, don't remind me. This damn Cinco de Mayo is coming this Friday. And it's the worst day for it to land on. Because everybody's going to be out, and it's like the weekend. You're going to get tacos. And I'm just like, you fucks. You absolute fucks. I'm going to have to get tacos for you. Okay? Yeah, because I know how this goes.
Just be careful because the people in Pekin probably don't think the cops are going to get them and they're going to drive drunk. So please be careful, Mel.
Listen, Pekin, the good tequilas in Pekin is going to be booming. There's going to be a lot of very red-faced, aggressive white people who are looking to.
I love the red faces, you know.
Listen, they with the this like the neck veins, and they got the, you know that you see them, and it's like
they're looking like that Cherbum.
Yeah, they walk around looking like the Cherbum cover, the one with like the little bubblegum face. Okay, you know the main one. And they're ready to turn up at any instance, and it's like they're going to be in there making my friends from the Latino community run all around. And I've never liked it. I don't like it. I'm happy that they're going to get business as a result of this, but I hate that it's just a bunch of people in there like riding the back of a holiday that has nothing to do with it.
I am not a Cinco de Mayo person, and I'm really like not a going out on New Year's Eve person because I hate amateur drinking days. They're horrible.
Talk about
now, St. Patrick's Day, I've had fun, but that's mainly with my wife's family, who is a close-knit big group that goes out together and stays together.
You gotta know where to go and who to go there with.
Yeah, that's it.
If you go to a nice old Irish pub, you could have fun. If you go with a close-knit group of people, you can have fun in the right environment.
Yeah.
But if you end up, let's say, in the periphery, I'm just speaking New York style here.
Oh, dear God.
Of like the SantaCon type people where they're doing like, you know, the Bridge and Tunnel crowd who's going to come in and do the bar crawls.
Yeah, no.
And shit. Like, and they have no regard for anyone around them. Those are the people you want to avoid. I feel like living in New York, that was always the worst. Like, St. Patrick's Day was like the worst day ever to go out because
that's another one.
You get the most. It's basically no shots to the homie Dart Adams. It's what I envision like living in Boston would be like every day.
Well, because I hear that for New York, and it just sounds like St. Patrick's Day is just all drunk cops. Like
it's drunk cops and cops' relatives.
Yeah,
and you know, my cousin's a cop, my uncle's a cop. You know, everybody knows a cop. They all got PBA cards.
The Departed fucking ruled, man. The Departed fucking ruled.
Yeah, it's the one day that New York turns into fucking Boston, and I hate it. If I wanted to live in Boston, I'd move to fucking Boston and live. I live near fucking Dot Adams and fucking Laps Fan, you know?
Listen, I live in fucking Dorchester, man. What the fuck you talking about?
Oh, brother.
So, listen.
What's that, a New England accent, right? You know?
Fuck them. All right? With their fucking dunks.
Dunks?
The fucking dunks, bro. A large regular from Dunks.
Oh, Dunks is a franchise.
I thought you were talking Nike Dunks, and I'm like, isn't that DMV or like DC?
Yeah,
no, because these are the only idiots on the planet who call Dunkin' Donuts Dunks.
Oh wow, they shorten it. Oh come on, listen. All right, that's ridiculous. Are they doing that?
It's not that good anyway. I don't understand this. Is it like one of those things where Duncan is better there? I don't know.
Did it start there? Because if it did, okay,
it did.
Canton, Massachusetts. So yeah, I get it. I guess it's like obviously it's a nationwide franchise, but they might still feel ownership over it.
Hero, vision of light.
Cam, have you made it through the Electric Circus episode?
Oh, I just got to that part. I had looked it up and I had heard that before anyway.
Oh man. Okay, listen. You got to understand that era is just like we were in a tunnel and we had tunnel vision, and once we got out of it and looked back, it's like, what were we smoking? You know, like it was weird, man. It was weird.
It was an Electric Circus of our own design, you know?
I like listening to that stuff. I get what the tunnel vision, but it also like, did you watch that Celtics Sixers game that Tobias Harris play where Kevin Harlan was going like, shot clock's running down. Does he know? Does he know? That's what I was thinking the whole time listening to that.
I mean, here's the thing. That hurts to hear, but we did know. We knew, but we couldn't. There was nowhere to turn. Like, we couldn't take an alternate route, so we just had to keep barreling down that tunnel. Okay?
But, it
was not.
You know what that reminds me of? That brings us to this album.
Oh, listen. Yeah, okay. Well, listen. The father's here. He fought through the New Room Massage. He made it back. And to help us with this track 7 here, How to Hate, featuring Young Fire and T-Pain.
Who knows how to hate better than Rab and the father?
Don't mischaracterize it, because here's the thing. They already think we're haters. We're not haters. We're really not. We can hate. Like, we just did that T.I. Trouble, man. Well, that was hate-worthy. We can hate when we need to, but I don't think our default state is haters, We know how to hate. We do, but...
You guys try to find the good in anything. When you can't find something good, that's when it comes out, because it's like, we really tried here. Wu-Tang A Better Tomorrow. That's when it comes out.
That wasn't A Better Tomorrow.
Oh.
No, it was in fact worse.
It was the worst tomorrow possible, but yeah, this is a record that features T-Pain and Young Fire. It's produced by Drew's That Dude and Young Fire. Apparently.
Correct.
I think either myself or someone I know rapped on one of this guy's beats. Drew's That Dude.
Is he like a prolific guy?
Well, he was just a guy I saw in my travels as like a rapper online looking for beats to rap over on unauthorized, unofficial projects.
I will speak up on this. Drew still produces. We've known each other since like 2006, and we met on Future Producers, those forums. And we used to be on like Ustream and AIM chats just fucking around.
Shout out to Ustream, man, and AIM chats. Okay.
But that's kind of maybe, yeah, it'll be fine. No one's gonna go this deep that doesn't want to know about the album anyway. That's how I know about this track. So
okay.
But I've pieced together stuff from Young Fire and Drew and a few other people associated with the album. And yeah, I will say I like this track. I give it a 7. But
okay, let's get ready to say How to Like, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this is a Wacky Cam, definitely.
Okay.
Because
I can forgive a Wacky Cam takeaway. If you were going to argue on behalf of the song being legitimately good, I'd have to fight you on it.
No. And I think this might have won a Grammy? Or is it because of the album?
I would assume the album.
Yeah.
I would hope to God the album as a whole garnered him a Grammy.
But yeah.
Not the song. But
so How to Hate featuring Crybaby T-Pain. I give it a flat 4. It's not my least favorite song on the album, but I don't like it, and it's one of my least favorite songs on the album.
All right. Well, we got a 7 from Cam, a 4 from Moulz, and a flat 6 from Mel.
Understandable on both accounts, because on this one I've like gone back and forth, and knowing like people that worked on it, I'm like, it's been a 4, it's been a 5, but now it's like, this is just funny to me. It's a 7.
So we're like almost halfway through this album at this point.
Oh yeah.
And I've only liked one song.
Oh wow. What?
Now, keep in mind, the previous 3 Carter albums are all record club level rap albums.
Yeah, that's what makes this, even if I'm higher on it than, especially it sounds like Moulz, because I think so far, including this one, I would have liked 4, but that's about, back half's not bad. The end of it is really bad, though. But yeah. It's still not a good album.
No matter how you slice this son of a bitch, the Carter 4 is one of those albums where like it's as close as you can get to objective truth, in that it is not touching the previous 3.
No, not at all.
Who you are, when you started listening to Wayne, if you're sat down and you have to listen to all 4 consecutively, there's under no circumstance should you come away.
It's not touching the previous 3. It's the worst thing he's ever put out up until this point. Like,
up until this point?
Yeah, that I completely agree. There's worse after this, but this was.
I am a Rebirth apologist, but I'll say, like, if you don't like Rebirth, at least that album is interesting, and it's Wayne following his own artistic impulses. This sounds so, like, paint by numbers, obligatory, like, and I'd never heard Wayne sound so uninspired and so dead inside.
So I'm going to say something about this song, because if you say Wayne sounds uninspired on this, I kind of agree with you, and part of it is, this is not supposed to be a Lil Wayne song.
Oh.
Sounds like it. It's not. I mean, I figured that's where we were going with this.
Yeah.
We bring you in for this insight, because I'll tell you right now, just musically, this feels like more of like a mid to late 2000s like R&B album filler track.
This was supposed to be on 3 Rings. And
okay.
Yeah, and Wayne asked for it specifically just because he had How to Love already.
Oh, so I was wondering about that, because like, yeah, he's like, working on the album, How to Hate.
And think
like he wanted some synergy.
And because of that man who was banned from the building, T-Pain had to take work where he could get it.
Oh yeah, Kanye, right?
Ain't no ban from the building. Okay, no more peddling that guy's sob stories as fact.
No, I'm talking about Jay, because this is a Death of Autotune thing. Because after that came out,
Jay,
after that came out, apparently T-Pain had hard work getting like features. It was bleak for a while, and we won't go into a disappointing covers album, because we all think T-Pain at this point probably deserved better than to be kind of blackballed from the industry.
In 2011, sure.
Yeah.
But
now,
sometimes you emerge as a victim, and then you pimp the victimhood so much that I stop feeling bad for you.
Exactly.
It's so whack though, because fucking Joe Camel told the industry
enough of this.
But really, only T-Pain took the brunt of it because he was the face of it. Autotune obviously didn't die; it only got stronger.
No, look at Future, and obviously Wayne stayed,
Uzi,
around with the autotune.
Everybody,
yeah,
literally everybody. And it's like, but T-Pain in that moment, when you say death of autotune, it might as well be death of T-Pain.
Which. At the point Death of Autotune came out, there were a lot of really bad autotune things going on. Because, I mean, I honestly think Death of Autotune was more about the Ron Brown's crap than anything.
Oh, man.
Pop champagne, jump out the window.
Arab money, yeah.
Yeah.
But and even you had the bad Birdman auto-tune singles from around that time too. I don't know if you guys remember those at all. Where Birdman was auto-tuned.
Yikes! I mean, the Birdman singles. I remember it around. Well, this probably. Oh no, Pop Bottles was like 09, 08?
Well, it was around Death of Autotune, so it was around 09.
Okay.
Because it was around
Pop Bottles, For My Town.
Yeah.
With Drake, 100 Million.
Yep, because I remember hearing either on, I think it was Shade 45, they would play a couple of those songs, and there's this out of tune auto-tuned Birdman rapping. And I'm like, what the hell is this shit? It was a weird time.
So you were saying Wayne wanted this because he had How to Love already.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten to How to Love yet, so I don't want to speak on that one just yet.
Oh no, yeah.
Whatever I think about How to Love, we didn't need How to Hate.
No.
Just we have President Carter. Are we going to have Vice President Carter? Or It's Good? Do we have It's Bad? I like The View. I don't like The View. We don't need these songs.
See, the only reason, and here's the thing, when I first thought about this theory, I'm like, yeah, that would make sense because in the past, I guess you could have walk in, walk out, fly in, fly out, How to Love.
This isn't like that, though.
It's not, though. It's not.
And those songs serve completely different purposes than these do.
Well, it's with the walk in, walk out thing, that would be your intro, interlude, outro on this album. And even then, you didn't keep up that conceit for this one anyway. I mean, he broke it on Carter 3, but, it doesn't make any sense to have it unless you're just which goes to another thing. Birdman apparently cheaped out on this album. He would not approve budgets.
Well, that and the fact that a lot of producers from Carter 3 in this timeline here, 2011 still, have yet to be paid for their participation in Carter 3.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them don't get paid till 2013, 2014, 2015.
Oh, and that's just bog standard Cash Money operating procedure because the same thing happened with Carter 2.
And I remember pre 6 foot, 7 foot, there were rumors going around that we're not going to get another a milli because Bangladesh hasn't been paid for a milli and he's not willing to work with them anymore. We did, obviously, so something got worked out there. But I remember Alchemist saying 2014, 2015 finally got paid for Ain't Nothing on Me. What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that just makes sense based on everything in Cash Money's history with Birdman, because everyone that's ever worked with that label is I didn't get paid until I sued.
I guess that is how you build an empire. I mean, in corporate America, yeah, you fucking blow up off the backs of unpaid labor and
Diddy said he'd show you how to get this money, and you still said, "Oh, how come he didn't provide a tutorial?"
Well, I was hoping he could maybe give me.
You set up a bunch of accounts with different vendors, and you don't pay them until they take you to court.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cash Money Records built on the backs of unpaid labor and child labor.
Forgive me. I'm still hoping that there's a way to not fucking die in America without screwing somebody over, But that's just fucking innocent Mel. But we're definitely not in an innocent era with this album. There's a lot of fuckery going on. Okay. I mean,
I'm so depressed in this era. It's so clear to me that he's been negatively affected by jail, that the fire that was inside of him had been put out.
Yeah, and going straight from jail into a contract negotiation for more royalties, I feel like it just completely deflated whatever momentum he might have had wanting to get back to it. It's just...
Well, there was also the fact that he was on probation for the first year he was out of jail.
Yeah.
And, I'm not saying that it's a good thing that certain artists are more creative when they're fucked up, but Lil Wayne's some of his best and most prolific music was coming from a period where he was doing a lot of lean and he was smoking a lot of weed and he was popping a lot of fucking pills, and he couldn't do those things because they're going to all show up in a piss test and he's going to be randomly screened for the next year by a probation officer.
Yeah. Well, and part of it is when you get back into that, if you are having trouble regulating that, which Wayne was at points, it takes you
definitely.
a long time to learn how to do things sober that you were doing while fucked up. And I mean, I feel like this is why a lot of the mixtapes and the albums after this point until probably Carter 5, Rebirth. What's the most recent one that was actually decent? I can't even remember now.
The most recent for me is Funeral.
Funeral.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. It took until about Funeral for him to figure out a flow pattern that didn't involve him being consistently fucked up.
Yeah, to tie it into this song, it was especially depressing when this album came out because I remember where I was. I remember my first time hearing the song. I was in the basement in this very house, and I was in my first relationship at the time, and it wasn't going swimmingly, let's say. Now, everything was in position for me. I mean, I was 18. I was in a shaky relationship. I had every reason to put this song over. And even then, I couldn't. Because this is how I feel about the record. The feelings are valid, okay? I'm not going to police somebody's feelings towards somebody in a relationship. The handling of it is not. It's very, very, teenager, very immature. I couldn't commit at the time when I wanted to, quote-unquote, hate a bitch. It was it's a 6 as a breakup song. It's probably a 5 as a T. Wayne song. So I'm just
amazing songs together.
They do,
right?
They actually do,
exactly.
Great unreleased songs. They have great songs that have been released. T-Pain has great songs featuring Lil Wayne. Wayne has great songs featuring T-Pain. They have amazing chemistry. This is, I'd actually go as far to say, the worst collaboration they've ever had together.
Yeah, probably. But what I'm gonna say and what gets it over for me because it makes it hilarious is these two are about a little bit younger than I am right now and younger than I was when I got married. And they're still talking about this on this song. It makes it so hilarious and juvenile to me. It's like some of the Drake stuff that comes out now. It's like, dude, you are older than me. Why are you still talking like this?
Bro, exactly. I mean, there are times in here where I have to wonder, maybe Drake had some input. Apparently not if this is going to be on 3 Rings, but it's like, she owes me everything and she knows it. I've seen all the scenes in this movie. She blows it at the end. It's like, okay, Drake. All right. And he continues on with this frustrated, hashtag nice guy talk. And it's like, what are you? High school Mel? What is this talk?
Come on. This was the guy that we were just, in season 10 doing dedication 2 and geeking out over his bars. And he opens up verse 2 with, and I don't love them hoes, but don't fuck up with Wayne, because when it wanes, it pours.
One of those lines that's always cited as a laughable Wayne bar, and sadly, I have to say it is. It's laughable. But there's a worse bar right after that with all that bullshit is for the birds. She was pigeon-toed. That was worse because we're in this era of Wayne where as long as there is some connection between the setup and the punchline, he just lets it fly.
He's buying his punchlines from the Moulz Mel 15-cent bar basket, though, for this whole
album. Because Birdman cut the budget.
And T-Pain...
Yeah. I mean, that has nothing to do with
how
the
to hate
writing.
a bitch! T-Pain is not bringing any sort of, catchiness to this record, and he's here in that, he ain't Nate Dogg. I mean, seriously, this guy is still crying about getting made fun of by Kanye in Hawaii. All right? He's a damaged man, okay? We shouldn't be propping people like this up.
Well...
We up now, though. Some Raps 3, album of the year. T-Pain cover album, worst album of the year.
Listen, if we go through all of the people... Shout out to LJ, because LJ sent T-Pain some stuff on one of his streams, and T-Pain no-sold it. Listen, I mean, those streams, they're all of them, from T-Pain to Adam 22 was doing those at a time. You know, you can't trust that stuff. All right, they're trying to get the follower count up. They're trying to make some money. All right,
and
like
they're trying to put their own people over. That's all that is.
You know, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. They plant like come on, you know, with that.
And the guy who's, you know, always crying, always telling us about the sad times is going and crushing a bunch of other artists' dreams. You see how that works? Hurt people hurt people.
Yep.
Cam, what you said earlier, I mean, you were saying, the Birdman budget wouldn't affect the writing. But here's the thing. If you believe the theory that Wayne has had ghostwriters at different points in his career, then maybe it would. Because he's like, oh, man, I can't afford Gilly no more.
See,
like,
and I'm one, I've never bought into that because Wayne was always too free associative to actually have writers, like, even more than Jay. Like,
that's what I wanted to believe, right? Like, this man is too much of a Martian to be able to...
If Gilly stopped writing for him after Carter 1, then how come his raps got almost inarguably better from, like, Carter 2 onward until he went to jail?
What?
Well, I always heard the story was, like, he stopped after Carter 2.
It was Carter... If you're going to believe it, it's Carter 1. Like, it's maybe into Dedication 1, if you believe that.
Early Carter 2 sessions when Manny Fresh was still involved.
Yeah, like,
but there was a massive personnel change around that time.
Well, yeah, because once Manny left, they scrapped the whole album and just redid it.
Yeah. And it was more East Coast sounding at that point, too.
Yeah.
Ain't no ghostwriter, ain't no Gilly, okay? We fucking know about him.
But we don't have time to deal with Willie the Squid, okay?
Look,
like,
get down on the ground. Get down on the ground. Let's do a whole Gilly the Kid retrospective. Okay, there you go. We just did it.
Oh, brother. Wow. Oh, shit. Where's the damn gun? Okay.
It's cool, though. Listen. From one failed rapper turned podcaster to another, I wish him the best.
Look, this is just a record where, keep in mind, the Flat Six, like, the funny thing is, like, I feel like it's a solidly constructed song as far as just, like, industry dreck goes. It's like,
I disagree.
It has a concept,
the
it's
chorus
clear,
is bad,
it's explained
the beat
why
isn't
they
good,
feel this way.
The rapping isn't good. There's nothing good about it. How is it good? There's nothing conventionally good about it.
Well, there's nothing offensive about it to me.
I like the bridge.
You like the bridge?
I like the bridge.
All right, well, listen. Once Phoebe walls the bridge for Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh, man.
Oh, dear God.
We could maybe talk about bridges, but ain't no bridges going on over here, okay? This ain't no bridge. What you saw was a mirage.
The bridge is over, is what you're saying?
The bridge is basically over, is what I'm saying. You know? People got KRS all fucked up, man.
Yeah, this is...
He took the time machine, he heard Carter 4, and he came back to write this.
Look, I can appreciate that they at least explain why they hate a bitch. You know, like, I don't agree with how they chose to deal with it. Like, it's very immature. But, like, musically, you know, it's not an unpleasantly constructed song. It's a song that is sort of amusing because these are grown men, like, talking about, I'm through fucking with these bitches.
If this thing showed up on any of the previous Carter albums, we would have looked at it as, like, the Make Me Proud of those albums.
Probably. But Wayne was in his Make Me Proud era. So, you know, and, like, I have to associate... You know, reviewing this song, it's like I'm thinking about where he's at. I'm thinking about what else he's doing at the time. Like, I mean, even if you were to throw it on Carter 2, it'd be strange. It'd probably sound a little futuristic, but, like, I'd be like, yeah, it's still not good.
Okay, on Carter 2, it would legitimately seem like someone transported an alien. Like,
you know,
that would just freak people out.
But I'm saying, like, even like, Lollipop is, like, interesting, you know, on Carter 3. This just feels like devoid of any real character. This isn't a Lil Wayne song. And you confirm this for me.
Yeah.
It's not a Lil Wayne song.
No,
it's a T-Pain song.
If I recall right, I don't even think it goes to a lot of what you're saying about the hook and everything. I don't even think it was a fully finished T-Pain song.
I can believe that.
Like
it's missing a little of what I expect more from T-Pain.
Yeah, because the critiques you
like,
guys
it's not
giving,
as tightly written of a song as, you know.
If this was a T-Pain song on Three Rings, it would be one of the worst songs on Three Rings.
Oh yeah, it's like this didn't make it yet, and like Wayne heard it and he's like, I want that, and they just had the parts they were done, and it's like, okay.
And I hate that, like, this is a guy who's historically never really been hands-on with his albums. It's just let the label figure it out, let Cortez figure it out.
Yeah.
Just dump a bunch of files in their lap and say, make the album, find the single. You know? That's like one approach that is somewhat disappointing to me, because it's like, damn, you really have like no ear for your own shit. And then there's the whole thing where it's like when he does make special requests, it's this.
Yeah.
Hey, right. He wants how to hate off of T-Pain.
Make sure, do what you guys got to do, but make sure if you guys are putting How to Love on there, you need to put How to Hate.
I think it goes to he's a writer that cannot self-edit. I firmly believe that. He's George R.R. Martin. Are you talking
about Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's why he dumps everything he does, because he's like, someone else has to edit this. I just give you all the material.
Right. That makes sense.
It's what the God Fahim is doing publicly right now, and just putting out a new project every week. And it's like, look, find the songs you like and make your own projects.
Moulz and I are going to make the greatest double disc rap album over a 1 year span of God Fahim tracks.
I mean, shit, we can. One day we'll get into the Moulz and I figure this out on the phone. Like Wayne is in a category of a rapper who we refer to as a dumper.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fahim is a dumper.
The dumper,
I mean, the dump
for
guys
sure.
is where, you know,
currency dumper.
Yeah,
Lil B, Charles Hamilton, Madlib.
Yeah. No,
you know, you got to hit a certain level of prolific where, you know, you might need your own hard drive.
Lil B and Charles Hamilton are like recycle bins. They're like, oh, I deleted all this stuff. Here, you can have it and make a tape out of it.
Well, that's the thing. The thing about Hamilton specifically is he's released so much. He now has to rely on what's left of the fan base to like give him links to his own shit.
Oh yeah,
like, you know, like for real. It's
if Lil B didn't
like
get as big as he did, he'd have to do that too, because like most of that stuff will always be on the mixtape sites or Internet Archive. Like Hamilton, because he did a lot of Blogspot stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There came a point where it was like not even Blogspot; it was just like a Facebook post with a MediaFire link, and if you're not Facebook friends with him, someone else will have to
you had no
share
idea
that link.
It got released.
Yeah, I mean, at least Lil B put most of his insane, like, 100-track mixtapes on actual mixtape services, so those will stay there. But yeah, like, MediaFire links, they expire. Like, they're just gone into the ether.
So it's on the fan base to kind of collect everything in a Google Drive and make sense of everything and piece together things as new things emerge. This is why
if you weren't there when it dropped, you're gonna get like a re-upload from something.
We get so triggered by how people fuck with the files, change the tagging, change the artwork. Yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do it.
Listen, don't. That's an easy way for me to call you you know,
you're a terrorist.
I mean I've changed my ways, and my library's way like more normal now, but I used to be a FLAC boy, and you're talking about
FLAC boy.
Yeah, you're talking about bad tags, wrong album artwork. No, I'd have a conniption fit. 19-year-old me would be like, oh, fuck you.
And then, you know, I hate to maybe bring up some old wounds for you, but I mean, I deal with this just with, you know, as Mel and I always say, fake 320. I'm sure there was a lot of fake FLAC out there too.
Oh,
People
yeah.
just converting
artificially
it to FLAC.
upscaled, you know?
Or putting
Bullshit.
it into Pro Tools and re-exporting waves and then converting it down. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, where are you buying these FLACs from?
Well,
You know, like
I did a lot of sharing myself. I always ripped straight from CD and did it myself. Because I would rip waves and then compress it down to FLAC. So,
I see.
but I was also an insane person, so.
Well,
I mean, listen, Cam, there are people that will go as far as to falsify export. Like, you know, you can get like a summary of an export and it shows like, rip this file, 100%, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people will fake those. I mean, people go really far just to re-upload files that they could just upload in a variable bit rate and just be honest about what the actual, you know, essentially what the condition is here.
Well, and
you know?
I've always been with MP3s. I always did V2 or VO. I was fine with that. Which are the variable bit rate up to 320.
I'm fine. Listen, I'm fine with the variable bit rate. It seems more real
Yeah,
than I'm looking at a 3. All right, like, guys, a 320 of like Lil Wayne, the Suffix. Like, you didn't have the hard copy CD of that mixtape. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's some upsample bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more likely to trust
192 variable,
192, 256 stuff that's floated right between like 150 and like 270
I love a good
something.
float.
The variable.
I love a good float. It seems so real. You know?
Well,
you know,
and if it's a mixtape, if it's anything more than 192, I'm likely to not trust it because I'm like, it's a mixtape. They did
it needs scans at that point.
Yeah.
I need scans of the front and back of the CD and the actual disc with your, you know how they used to, like the rip groups used to do it.
I need you to hold up today's paper as you're scanning it.
Yeah. There was someone that did like exact audio copies of the G-Unit radios, and I A-B'd them all with like my DAT Piff ones. They sounded way better. He included scans front and back, so I'm like, this is real. So I don't, you know, I agonize over this a little bit because sometimes it's just, look, if I don't have the actual CD, I sometimes just, I have trust issues with these files.
Oh yeah, anything that wasn't retail, I'm like, I don't trust you if you're saying it's above a certain level unless I see some proof. I'm with you on that one.
Look, and you'll go listen to these rad mixes we put up on Patreon. There's M4As in there mixed with MP3s.
Oh yeah,
you know, I'm not messing with anything. I'm leaving it how it is. You know.
You got to understand, especially now, if I see something in 320 that came out, you know, like it's a new release, I'm especially skeptical because I'm like, people care about files less than ever. You want me to believe that like this was given to you in like 320 or like whatever? Like nobody's even checking for that stuff anymore.
So you bought something from you buy every new release essentially. That's what I have to assume from a digital marketplace.
Now,
the night it
we
comes
know about
out.
Shaw.
I will say if you're on Wi-Fi and you can actually record into whatever digital audio workstation you do from your phone, if you're on Wi-Fi and you have Apple Music, it is lossless. So you can encode whatever you want off of that.
Have you run that damn Audacity and set it to stereo mix? you can probably get some stuff done.
Yeah,
I would prefer that over. Listen, I know that for certain things that were only ever released on vinyl, it's all you can ever really get. But I really hate people who rip these new vinyls. It's like this is the worst of all worlds. It's like
unless it's one of the Mac Hami albums, like that's about it. That's the only vinyl I want to see.
I don't want to see no vinyl rip of something that wasn't recorded to tape. Got pressed on like these new vinyls, and
dude, digital masters being pressed to vinyl.
So stupid.
I don't understand. Like, and this is even dumber. Get this, D'Angelo, Black Messiah, was that the name of the album?
Yes.
That album came out in 2014, and then in early 2015, the CDs and vinyls came out. This was recorded analog. Like, not very many albums are recorded analog anymore. Really only, like, Jack White shit.
Well,
but they went through the hassle to do this, and the vinyl is a digital master. They use the iTunes master for the vinyl. So if you want the analog sound on the D'Angelo album,
you gotta buy the CD.
You gotta buy the CD. And, you know, obviously the benefit of vinyl is, some people will say, if something is recorded analog and not digital, that it does sound better, it sounds warmer or whatever.
Yeah. That's all that shit is to taste anyway. Like, you could tell if you start telling me, oh, it sounds warmer and it was recorded after 1984, I'm like, okay, buddy, okay, Mark.
Where's the drop? Yeah, no, we need that okay mark for these people who claim that they're, you know, that they got these new vinyls.
Vinyl has given me some of the worst sound quality I've ever experienced. I bought the Food vinyl and played that shit, and I swear to God, I'm so glad that I still had my fucking CD, because it sounded like someone just had like a pirated copy of the album and just like transferred it to vinyl. It sounded so bad. It sounded like muddy, basically.
Well, and it's like, I have vinyl, but most of it is like it's old stuff. It's like stuff I know that was recorded on analog, and it's like original copies of stuff. I don't new stuff. Like, I'll ask for it for like birthday gifts and stuff if people want to give it. But like, other than that, I don't give a shit. I'd rather just have a digital copy. I don't care. I mean, I like having the CD, but like, if it comes to having vinyl or a digital copy, I'll take a digital copy. I don't care.
I think I got my first and last vinyls in 2014. Like, once they and I got them for like record club albums, you know, it was like stuff I really love front to back. And then I realized, like,
that's why he's only got the Hey Arnold soundtrack and the Rugrats in Paris soundtrack.
God. No, I wish I had the Hey Arnold, the music on, but it only came out on vinyl, and I'm not buying no vinyl. I got the rips that somebody made of it. No, I got if you must know, I have Anything in Return by Toro Moi. I have Because the Internet by Childish Gambino.
Digital.
Oh, of course. But like, at the time, I didn't know. I was a mark. Where's the drop?
Oh, sure. Okay. Okay, Mark.
Wait, what?
Oh, this is totally normal. I got to flip the fucking record every 15 minutes. This is great.
Wait, weren't you in school for this at the time you were buying these?
I was.
Ain't no school, yeah. All right? This school, I'll have you know.
Don't do this right now.
You know when they used to put stuff in the cereal boxes, Cam?
Oh,
this man is going to say I have a cereal box degree. This is why we do. Okay.
No, the guy I learned from, who was one of the engineers for Purple Pills, basically I asked him, should I go to Full Sail? And he's like, you know more than any of my professors at Full Sail already when I learned there. And I was like, oh, these schools are fake. I'm never going to one.
Oh, man.
Mel, I wish I would have known you back then when you were trying to say, I want to go to this school, and I would have been like, go to a studio and just intern. You will learn more.
Here's the thing. I would have preferred to do that, but it's like, you know, what did the coon say? The coon, yeah, he's like, you know, the concept of school seems so secure. They don't want to disappoint their parents. You know what it is. I had to go. I had to pick something.
See, at that point, when I went to intern at a studio, I had dropped out of college after 2 days, so there was no more disappointing than I had already done. So,
okay, got it.
Yeah.
It was a long story, but I mean, for what it's worth, I was taught well. I had great instructors. I really did.
The instructors are good. It's just you can learn so much of that stuff just working.
But you're right, because here's the thing. After like maybe the first year, I was able to apply that stuff that I didn't know, and then I just started learning myself. Like, they gave me the fundamental knowledge to then go off and build on it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I've been good ever since for the most part. But
And basically for rap mixing, it's like you need to know how to cut out space for a vocal and you need to know how to sidechain bass and drums. If you know those two things, you're fine. Everything else is to your own ear.
You feel me? Like, yeah, it just... The point is, folks, don't buy vinyl. Don't buy vinyl.
Don't.
Okay?
Just never.
No matter what they tell you about where it got pressed and the process
Look,
they went through.
If you want to buy vinyl, here's what you should do. Just take your money and light it on fire and just let it burn, baby, burn.
Or go to an actual record store where it's full of vinyl that was made in the time where vinyl had to be made because it was the primary medium.
Yeah, don't go to
They don't want those albums. They want Good Kid, Mad City on vinyl from Urban Outfitters. That's what they want.
Oh, ridiculous. Why would you want something that was so digital on vinyl? It's all like these beats were made in like Logic and
then
FL
they talk
Studio.
about, I don't have anything to play CDs out of. Like they don't have Xbox, PS, whatever. You know, fuck out of here.
Oh man,
Blu-ray player, DVD player, a million things you could play a CD out of. Your car doesn't have a CD player? I know some of them don't now.
No, they stopped.
What are you buying new cars? What are you rich?
All right, now we're okay.
You can get a CD player installed in your car if you're rich.
That is true. No, not even if you're rich. It's like $300 now.
And I'm saying if you're not rich, you shouldn't be driving in a car that doesn't have a CD player. That means you're driving in something 2016 or later, probably.
I was about to say I have a 2013 and it still has a CD player, but it has a full it has a full Bluetooth system too. So
me too.
Yeah,
2015.
Yeah,
I might have got the last of the CD players in the Civics though.
I had a 2013 Chevy Sonic with the CD player, and it was great.
You can get a CD player, you can get a car stereo installed though with the CD player in it.
No, the wild thing is the car before I had this one was a 98 Buick Century, and it had a 6-disc in the back still.
Oh, like my dad's 2004 Runner. It had the 6-disc in the back.
Yeah, and God.
Nice.
Yeah, I eventually just had to put a new CD player in it so I could actually hook my phone up.
You gotta love those CDs, you know?
I love the CDs.
They'll last for a long time.
I love them, but like doing the 6-disc in the back was just like, okay, these are the only 6 CDs I can listen to for while I'm driving right now. Okay.
And, but at the time, though, it felt like more than enough.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I need to be able to listen to whatever I want to listen to in that moment. I've been spoiled, It's like, like 6 burn CDs. It's like, oh, the possibilities are endless. I got 80 minutes times 6.
Oh yeah,
that's a whole lot of songs. But now, like, oh my god, yeah, no, I couldn't do it. I mean, shit, my final, the famous story when my Zoom got ran over outside the damn Marriott or whatever. Like
tragedy.
It's 32. Complete tragedy. 32 gigs. That had eventually become like I can't do anything with this. I need like at least 128.
See, I got spoiled. My second ever iPod I had was the 160 gig. And and I had everything that I could think of at that point. Like I was just ripping CDs at the library to rip them.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Which the library I went to was insane. It's like where I got diplomatic immunity from.
They had diplomatic immunity at the library?
Well, yeah, I went to a school on the east side of Indianapolis, yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a great library.
Yeah, we had a bunch of 3-6 Mafia and diplomats at that point, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at like my music library right now, and this isn't everything because I got stuff on hard drives. It's still populating, but it's still going. I'm over 64 gigs. It's still climbing. Like, I would love for them to bring like high capacity MP3 players back because that's the quality that I grew up with. Is the quality that I trust. I prefer a file. No matter how streaming keeps taking over, I'm still like thinking about the fact that this is getting like streamed through the air of some server somewhere. I'm losing frequencies. We're losing recipes, I can tell the difference still.
680 gigabytes here.
All right, you 680. I got 115 currently on my laptop. Non-Charles music, that is.
Yeah. I'm at 289.17 on the laptop.
There you go. So it's like I don't know about these people. Okay, I have to know about them because I don't have an MP3 player right now, but I don't know I can't trust their files, I can't trust their vinyl, I can't trust their ear. Okay.
You can't trust anyone who is just casually listening about any of this stuff. You have to be an insane person. The rest of these people are just listening to Spotify.
And they got the nerve to hop on these Apple Music. It's like, this new, it's like, you should listen to it with, the spatial audio. And I'm like, it's fucking fake. It's not the way the song is supposed to be. It's a glorified EQ preset. Like, what are we doing out here? Okay?
The only Apple Music feature that they've announced outside of just having lossless audio all the time, which is nice, was when they said, oh yeah, we're going to figure out how to do karaoke tracks for everything. I'm like, that's actually a decent idea. I don't hate that.
See, but we know what they're doing.
Oh, I know exactly what they're doing. Yeah,
and that ain't no karaoke. That's Yoko Ono is what that is.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, get the fuck out
of
here.
But do they even make the karaoke versions anymore? I don't even
songs?
know. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go to any karaoke bar, and they have songs that they have Old Town Road. They have all the new songs right now,
because last time I went to...
This is in the bag.
Yeah, last time I went to karaoke, there wasn't a ton of new stuff, and it was the most popular stuff was there, and that was it.
It's coming back. It's coming back in a big way.
That's good to hear.
I haven't hit karaoke since 2011. As long as they got my man Bobby Caldwell, What You Won't Do in there, I'm good. That's all I need. They can stop karaoke as far as I'm concerned.
Or I wanna thank you.
Heavenly Father. They need that too. Okay, yeah, we need that too. Yeah, make sure they got that. But I don't need to sing no news. When I'm gonna be in there singing, come and rescue me, take me out the club. I'm gonna look like an idiot. That's a great song, no matter what the world says.
They have real hits, Mel, not 1 week hits.
Listen, I know it's a fake hit. It's not even a 1 week. It was number 2. That ain't real. That might as well be number 20 in this day and age, okay?
No, it went number 1 on the rap charts.
Nah, ain't no real chart. We know about that chart. Okay?
None of these charts are real. None of this is real. I've done diatribes about this on Twitter now. These charts are so fake that Kill Bill, a song I'm not even sure I've heard.
I haven't heard
literally.
it yet.
We keep saying it. I had to go and actually find it to listen to it.
And
because I'm like,
my wife will listen to the radio sometimes. She's never heard this song. It's fake. It's not real.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be. I'm sorry. TikTok isn't real because people aren't listening to those songs.
No.
They're listening to 10 seconds, 5 seconds of that song. It's the only part they know. We know about Steve Lacy syndrome. They're not hits. They're jingles. We're back in the ringtone era. I don't know what's...
These TikTok hits are 15 seconds of a song while someone types the most, insane text you've ever read about their lives.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
It's like they're playing Bad Habits by Steve Lacy while it says, well, my husband shot off his thumbs today. What?
That's TikTok. Literally TikTok. Okay? Anybody listening in the future, that's what was going on. That is exactly what was going on.
We are getting our asses kicked by China, guys. Getting our asses kicked.
I need that clip of John Cena holding ice cream speaking Chinese, okay? Because that's going to be us soon, all right?
Save us, President.
I like Chinese food, man, I'll be fucking
I like
Emperor
the food.
Moulz,
I like
okay?
the Chinese.
I don't have to be Mayor Moulz. I'll be Emperor Moulz.
This reminds me. Restaurant in Indianapolis. It's called El Chino Mex. It is Chinese food and Mexican food.
El El Chino Mex.
Yeah, and
Yo, that's crazy.
It is like
wow.
It is like the hoodest hood spot too. Like it is in an old bar. Like it looks dilapidated.
Could El Chino Mex be, the next kind of location that they're looking at, as maybe, it's like some fucking QAnon shit going on in the basement?
Bro, this logo is wild racial, bro. Like, picture like the Chinese stereotype. You kind of got to Confucius. A Chinese guy wearing a sombrero.
They don't even advertise this on the restaurant. It's just big block letters that say El Chino Mex. Oh my god.
Good thing, too.
This is for the real heads, though. The real El Chino Mex heads know about this.
But no.
What is this guy's name? What is it? Like, I can't even come up with something because I'm going to be racist. So I'm going to just...
But no,
in the chat style. Look at the man.
I'm gonna tell you.
I can't look.
Let me see
I had these crab rangoons, and I had the what was it? Let me see.
Oh God!
Right?
Oh yeah.
You see this guy?
But that Campechano burrito, steak and chorizo mix.
I'm looking at the food. I'm on their Facebook. It looks real. I mean, like.
Oh yeah,
it don't look like no trash, but like
Listen, there was a baby behind the bar. That is real family-made food.
Oh yeah, listen, I trust that. When you see like somebody babysitting or like like little kids running around, you're at the real place.
Oh yeah,
okay? For sure. All right, you need that.
Because we had it because we saw it like advertised like on Facebook like that, and I didn't see that logo, but we're like, we need to try this because one of our like Facebook groups posted about it, and I'm like, yeah, this needs to happen. Well, and Sam got the chicken teriyaki. It was in one of those big styrofoam containers, and it was the whole thing, top and bottom.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it, bro. I'm looking at this. I see like there's a churro literally right next to a plate of fried rice. This was the promise of America. This strayed from the promise.
This is the dream. This is the Martin Luther King dream.
This was the one. Okay. I think I should be able to get Mongolian beef and carne asada at the same damn time. Okay. This is what we needed. This is what we needed more of. But we went the wrong way. We went with AI. We went with streaming. We went with TikTok. We could have had El Chino Mex locations all around the country. But no.
We should have.
Right.
We should have.
Yeah. Anyway.
God.
I was ready to clown this place, but I'm looking at the food and I'm like, you know what? No, let them rock. The logo's crazy, but let them rock.
No, like the guy who founded it was a cook. He is Mexican and he was a chef at a Chinese restaurant. So he knows both.
All right. He took the recipes back home. And, he put it all together.
Yeah.
I respect it. All right.
But like if you find this place, you're gonna be like, is this right? And then it's like you go inside, this is right. You just smell it as soon as you get inside.
I can tell just by looking at it that this is the real thing. Okay. I've had places that aren't the real thing. This is the real thing, but
Also, I gotta ask, Moulz, you said that Yellowbird sauce on the beefy melt burrito?
Was it the beefy melt?
The $2 one, right?
Yeah, it's in my area. It's $3, but
Oh, that's so sad.
They just take advantage.
Oh wait, the 1, 2, 3 menu. It's on the 3 part.
It ain't on that menu. Period. It's $2.89.
Oh, you're getting fucked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like all those new burritos here are $2. You are getting screwed.
$2.89 for me.
Please tell me the cheesy bean and rice is still $1.
$1.29.
Motherfucker.
Where's that damn hold on, I gotta load in that Weekend Escape from LA. This is some bullshit I'm hearing. This is crazy.
Wait, we just need to relocate Moulz to Peoria so we can get some cheap food.
Listen, this is the thing about living here. that I always tell people, like, you live like a king here, but at the same time, you wouldn't. If you have a remote job, you would.
Ain't no king. Okay.
Well, definitely not. Okay, it's just me, the Prince of Peoria, as I'm referred to in the group chat. We have we got a literal clown establishment called Emo's. Okay, that serves like chili dogs, and it's a big clown.
I wouldn't survive there. Okay, only if I had political power.
You being from New York and having lived in LA, you would lose it here. Like
I would
you
absolutely,
there's nothing
unless I had power. Because I feel like it was entitled to me because I'm like, you motherfucker, you haven't seen shit. Sit back and let me take over. I'll make this place like New York.
Yeah, Moulz would lose it in Indianapolis. I can't imagine Peoria.
Yeah.
Oh, Indianapolis, I don't know if I'd survive. But in Peoria, I really feel like, I have to have the Lebanese really pulling for me. And like I got a strong Lebanese base in Peoria, and I need all right, like I would expense a lot of money for having like good stuff shipped out for me to eat from like New York and LA, and that'd be my big scandal while in office. It's like, why won't you eat the local food? I'm like, I'm not touching that shit.
What? Just gotta flat out tell them it sucks.
Why do you have a $2,000 a month bagel budget?
Yo, when they look into
because I've been trying to keep things at a reasonable amount. 2,000 is very little. We're talking about trillions of dollars here.
The $1 trillion budget of Peoria.
Listen, man. This is not a place for serious people. It's not.
That's good. I'm a funny guy.
Otherwise,
I like to have fun, but I do feel like, I would have to, I'd have to basically be treated like a king. Like I either need to be treated like royalty there, like the most important person in Peoria, or, at least have some political power. I'm not just going there raw dogging it in Peoria, okay?
Well, it's what I tell people. Like, if you have like a bunch of money and you just want to live somewhere cheap, by all means. But like, if you don't have any money and you're not gonna make any here, like the cost of living being low doesn't matter when the jobs all paying you peanuts.
The jobs are like Target and Walmart.
So what's the point of having money out there? Like, you're walking around dressed like Don Bishop Magic Wand, and everyone's looking at you like, who's this rich motherfucker? What's me, baby?
What is it, like an hour trip to Chicago?
Oh,
listen, I wish.
Listen, I would rather be in fucking North Korea than in be in Chicago, okay?
Listen, Moulz and I are not fans of Chicago, but if we were an hour away, we would be in better shape holistically. As a city.
I've never made that drive from there to there, so I wasn't sure what kind of direction.
It's like 3 hours.
Okay.
It's like 3 hours.
Oh, that's like the same. That's like the same from Indy to Chicago. Shit.
Yeah, like it's close enough to like if you really want to like be somewhere where stuff is popping, you can take that trip on the weekend, but it's far enough to where like we don't reap any benefits of proximity. Like we're just
left to die.
We're not Naperville, It's like
Peoria.
We don't get to.
Peoria sounds like the Evansville of Illinois. Only there's no like deathmatch pro wrestling scene.
No, no, they don't do much wrestle around here.
They will once I come in.
Okay.
He's relaunching IWA Mid-South.
Why not? Okay, there needs to be something going on around here. At risk of
how come
like Republican Mel.
There's not space for a wacky mayor who's going to make things interesting and entertaining?
You got to make things lucrative and safe before interesting and entertaining.
First of all, lucrative is a given, because whenever a New Yorker comes to town, everyone's going to get their hustle out. Everyone's going to see what life is really about, how they really, they haven't really been living on, on all like having the shit turned up all the way, So they're going to change we're going to change I mean, that's the thing, is that it's going to be a tough campaign because I'm not asking you to vote for me. I'm asking you, are you willing to undergo a massive life change and a change to your routine, a change to your mindset?
You will get no votes. This is complacency the city, bro.
Well, then we might have to try this experiment elsewhere. But, will it play in Peoria? I think that's going to be the first testing ground.
Well, I'll tell you this for sure.
Who wants to live in Moulz City? 63572, the phone number, basically.
Moulz,
Wait.
I'm going to say you might want to pivot. You might want to see the two idiots that just won the primaries in Indianapolis. I think you can take them.
Really?
Because they look like mirror, like evil and good versions of the same generic 50-year-old white man.
Okay. So you think I just go and play the youth card?
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, on the north side of Indianapolis, there is a thriving Jewish community.
I like to hear that. How do people feel over there about the complacency and the sort of sadness within themselves? Like, do they think that maybe they want to change?
I mean, some people
do. They want to be the greatest state?
No, Indiana knows it will never be the greatest state. That's why it's Indiana.
I see. Okay.
Indiana knows its place. We're not Ohio.
I don't like that. I don't like knows its place. Because who's to say whose place is what?
We just know we're extremely flat and we're to drive through.
Flat's great. We love flat. What do we do with flat? We build. Okay? Flat is good. We build. If it's rocky, we can't build.
We just know we're great at basketball. That's all. That's what we got.
We like basketball very much, right, folks? Right? Dribbling and hooping and all of it.
Listen,
the whole thing, up and down the court, all of it.
In Indianapolis, you need to run on pork tenderloins are great, and a good chest pass is great.
I'm Jewish, but pork tenderloins are great. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
I'm Jewish, but we'll make an exception for the pork tenderloin. They're gonna love that because it's they don't know I just eat pork generally,
Or we'll bring Steak and Shake back. That'll get
Is it not around?
No, we'll bring it back to its
better days. Much better days.
Okay. We're gonna talk to the CEO. We're gonna get it back on track, brother. We're gonna dial this whole thing in, dude.
We're gonna make the Pacers good. No, we're not.
They're gonna be we're changing to the pesos,
That you just lost. You just lost.
We changed it to the pesos for the the Latino community, perhaps.
Actually, heavy Latino community on the west side.
You know what? That's what I'm going to say. Hey, I think we should change the name of the team to the Pesos. You know what I mean? And that's going to be a good way to kind of tap into that base too.
And that is how you get a target on your back, right there.
Oh shit.
Every good politician needs their critics, though. So,
oh my god!
Yeah, listen. All right, you know what just happened? This is what just happened. They got. This is what just happened. We set sail to find out how to hate, and somehow along the way we ended up in Cam's Cove.
We always
we stopped off for some El Chino Mex, and while we were eating, we were talking about Moulz's mayoral run, and the crisis amongst the digital file and physical media community.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh shit, we're running late. So we choked down the last churro, okay, and we get back on the boat. All right,
sugary glizzies, as we like to call them in Indiana.
All right, I don't know how that's gonna get over either. Sugary glizzies.
I mean, it could.
What about sweet glizzies?
Okay, no.
I feel like we gotta combine this somehow, because we needed to roll out the glizzies and maybe glitzies, like a glitter, sparkle,
glitzies,
sugar,
yeah.
glitzies.
Sweetback's Glizzy song.
Oh, you know what? Sweet treats. Glizzy song. There you go.
Yeah, open that restaurant up. Let me know how that goes.
Glizzy song just sounds like a Korean hot dog joint.
You bled my hot dog. You bled my churro. You won't bleed me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Folks, I mean, let's be fair here, though. This record on this album, there's not much to this.
No, there's not.
I mean, it's a juvenile song that was presumably purchased off of T-Pain by Wayne because he wanted to have something to balance how to love. You know,
Cam wanted to choose this as his appearance because he had some tea.
Yeah,
some tea, right?
And this is gonna turn into the episode of the tea if it hasn't already.
Okay, well, what's the tea? Where's the tea at?
The tea is that this was a T-Pain song.
It was okay. I thought he was going to be like,
well, and it's also the relationship between Birdman and Lil Wayne is pretty much just Logan and Kendall Roy.
Oh man, you know that reminds me because I was gonna say this earlier. Like you said he was like basically in a contract year, you know, like renegotiating, and I would think like this man has been your, you know, de facto son, right, for like
my son
for like 3 decades at that point, early 2010s. So like, and he gave you the Carter 3, the biggest, like 1 million first week. You know, in an age where we're getting less and less sales, okay, he is still the biggest rapper in the game. And it's like, that didn't give him enough goodwill for you to, like, give him the, you know, a good... I mean, I know you already don't pay for things. It's your MO, Birdman. I get it. But, like,
hey, Playboy.
Hey,
Playboy, if I let Manny and Juvie go, what you think I'm going to do to you?
Oh.
Now, fuck off.
Yo, Baby Roy is crazy. Like, that's nuts.
Playboy, you should have trusted me. You should have trusted me.
You're not a serious person, Playboy. Walking around wearing truck fit.
Now you come in here busting in guns and hands. They turn to fucking sausages. and you come to me with what? Love?
Oh, brother. Wow. Yo, wow. See, we're gonna go right back. We're gonna skirt right back into Cam's Cove because now I have like the young, like the Cash Money version of Succession. Where it's like Birdman. I guess Wayne would be. He would have to be Kendall. You know, Nikki Shiv.
Drake is Connor.
I don't know where Drake is. Drake is Connor, I guess, right? Because like he doesn't need the company, and right, he has a young girlfriend who doesn't really love him. You know,
yeah,
and he's very concerned about his public image. Drake's Connor Roy. He's Connor.
Roman is Mac Main, I guess.
Gutta is Frank.
Roman
is Mac Main.
Wait, oh no, the old guard. That's like Cortez and like you know Mac Main, like people like that. Gutta is
Wait, Manny Fresh is Frank. Because he gets fired and he comes back.
Who's the uncle Ewan? That's who is that? Who's a juvenile?
Pusha T.
What you say? Pusha T.
Yeah, he hates him.
Well, here's the thing though. They were family.
No,
who's the one that they
BG.
locked up and didn't visit?
BG.
Is that BG?
I think so.
That's BG.
Wow. Oh man.
No, Pusha T is Sandy because by the end of his career he looks like completely broken down.
Well, Or I guess Wayne goes to him in his weakened state in this most recent episode.
Oh God.
Wow. See, I can't be thinking about this
So
on
Tom
air.
Lomsgams is who? Staffery or the guy, the pedophile Nikki's married to now?
Wait, no. Tom is Drake.
Tom is Drake?
Because you got the fake Nikki Drake relationship, and they just pretended forever.
Wow. Right, but Drake really wants to be the top guy.
Yes.
Without like,
more on that later when I make my stunning revelation.
And he did it by being a dumb fuck.
Right.
Drake became the top guy by being a dumb fuck.
Wow.
Not as dumb as you may think, Cam, but that's still.
Yeah, no, he's got some smarts to him. I'll give him that. So does Tom.
Is Cousin Greg Tyga?
Cousin Greg is 40.
Oh, brother. Oh man. Oh, okay. Yeah. Look, because I'm the type of nigga who's gonna stay up for at least an hour and just like plot this out. I can't. Yeah,
This is done now.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen. The only other thing I really like this song is they're doing things that as a grown man you shouldn't care about. It's like, she keeps talking to me because she knows that I'm her friend. I was the one you came to when you broke up with your boyfriend. I was the one that told you fuck them other niggas. You still went and fucked them other niggas. Maturity is being able to be friends with a woman and not expect anything out of her. Like actual friends, not just friends because you actually want a relationship with them. Okay? Because maturity is if you want a relationship, you go for a relationship. If you don't get it, that's it. Now, if you want to remain friends, sure, but don't get pissy because she's talking to other people.
I also will concede maturity is also, if you've had a relationship, maybe just cutting it off and saying, "No, we can't be friends." Just being mature enough to admit that to yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it happened to me.
Listen, this is Wayne. Like, to me, after Drake becomes a thing, Wayne occasionally makes Drake songs, which he never really did before. He did make songs like Receipt on Carter 2, for example. Like, he had made songs about women before, for sure. But the way he's rapping about women almost changes once Drake takes off.
Well, I'm glad you said that because in the line, he alludes to in the song, he alludes to the situation we already understand now. Wayne came out and talked about it in his, like, memoir, and we already knew before that. But he says in the song, she used to always say, fuck my niggas. And when I went to jail, she fucked my niggas. Well, I guess I'm single for the night. Obviously, an allusion to I'm single.
Which is a 40
Drake
production.
And Wayne. 40 production. Drake basically gave him that song, and Drake is the person who fucked his girl when he was in jail. So, Drake, you're a fucker. Literally.
And much more on that later. Keep that in the back of your minds.
It's coming. The big bombshell's coming. Cam brought some of the tea.
Okay.
But the Boston Tea Party is going to kick off real soon. And I'm going to tell you this, like, the Drakeization of Wayne continued all the way to Carter 5. What's the song? I like this song. It's like, what about me? He got Post Malone on the remix. Like,
oh, yeah.
You could also attribute that to just Drake influencing the whole game, period. But Wayne was one of the first people because they were on the same label to kind of like incorporate some of that.
You can make a fake Drake Wayne album now with the amount of songs he's made that like exists either with like Drake's in-house producers that are clearly like beats that may have been pitched to Drake first.
Yeah.
Or straight up just like Drake karaoke type records.
Yeah.
It also leads to the thing I was saying earlier, like, once he started to sober up a little bit, he didn't know what to do anymore, so he was just, like, copying. It
copying whatever was happening at the time.
It reminds me a lot of Eminem, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, and also the way that, like, Eminem never shied away in his early albums talking about his failed relationship But God, these like recovery onward, like broken relationship ballad type songs feel like, if not Drake coded, then just a bizarre new twist on an old favorite of his, you know?
Yeah.
Where it doesn't sound like, they don't sound anything like the old records did, like Superman or whatever. Like, these new records have a very specific sound to them that, to me, is not a hip hop record at all if you just play the beat.
Compared to his other stuff, I don't like to use it for Eminem stuff, but those things are like saccharine almost. Like, there's just way too much, I don't know.
Well, you get a little bit of that later on, like this bonus track with Bruno Mars. Like, we talk about it last week in our T.I. Trouble Man review with like the song with Pink, for example, on Trouble Man.
The Atlantic Records special, yeah.
Yeah, I just, I don't get who enjoys this, because pop fans, or, the people who listen to like radio music, do they want this much rapping in their music? And do rap fans want to hear this kind of sound? I know we don't, so...
This shit was the first sign you should never ever trust an algorithm, because this is the shit that comes out of listening to an algorithm and listening to a boardroom instead of even just A&Rs and producers. Because it's like, well, we need this type of feature, but it also has to be this type of song for this length. Like, that's how you get this shit, and it just sounds like dreck.
And I think we're seeing a lot less of it these days. Not that it's not happening at all. I think back to the Jack Harlow album from last year with several big name producers and features on it, but like feels
that might be one of the last ones, honestly.
Yeah, it feels like oddly out of step with everything else, which feels like a lot less label mandated and calculated. Where for me, like, it may have been a little bit earlier, but it's sometime around that, like, Yeezus, Nothing Was the Same, like 2013 period till around maybe To Pimp a Butterfly. Sometime in that like 13 to 15 period, I think labels maybe either just losing touch with what's even going on and kind of just having to step back by literally just kind of losing their grip on what actually is a hit and what isn't, or just knowingly kind of self-aware saying like, we're going to kind of step back and less interference in the albums. So when you get a Cardi B Invasion of Privacy, or you get a Jack Harlow Come Home, the Kids Miss You, it feels oddly out of step with everything else. Because even Drake feels like he's putting out albums without any label being like, oh, okay, we found the single, let's go.
Yeah, like Drake albums, especially since Scorpion, you can have your thoughts on if they're that great, which, I mean, but they're still Drake albums. It's not like there's a label just making these and churning them out. But like, yeah, Invasion of Privacy was almost like a throwback. It's like, why?
That's
why
what these albums sound like now to me. These albums that sound like they were actually from the previous decade or early 2010s. And, in an era where like albums like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers drop with no lead single ahead of them. And Drake drops albums with only a week's notice and rarely is even putting out a lead single these days. An album coming out with like a traditional rollout, and then you've got like the obligatory features from like 2 or 3 hot R&B singers who happen to be on the label, 1 or 2 pop acts who happen to be on the label, 1 or 2 rappers that happen to be on the label, and everything feels so, 1999 to 2011, basically.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of that is now, too, there's only like 2 or 3 artists in any genre that do that type of rollout, and it's actually successful. It's like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and maybe Adele at this point. And I think once streaming took over, you're right, the labels didn't know what was a hit anymore. They had to let artists just make these albums because, and I think Carter 4 would have benefited had it been a year, 18 months later, because it would have just been Wayne dumping stuff and them finding what was the best stuff and putting it out. Now, would it have still been probably pretty mediocre? Yeah, probably.
Well, yes, because he had just come out of jail, which was obviously a soul-crushing experience for him. Yeah. His rapping didn't even start to sound like he had any inspiration in his voice until like late 2013, mid 2014.
And even that was on and off for like 5
on and off
years.
because of the complications that he was having with, you know, his contract and everything like that, and getting Carter 5 out and whatnot. So eventually we'll cover that when we do Carter 5. But, you know, it's kind of crazy to me that, like, I remember, because here's what you can say about something like Watch the Throne, which we already reviewed on Patreon back in season 2. I'm not crazy about that album. I think it's a mixed bag. I refute its classic status.
Definitely not fake classic.
Yeah, like I'm not going to sit here and say I think that album is much better than this album, because they're about near each other in terms of my score. But I remember Elliot Wilson on Twitter gloating about Watch the Throne basically being better than Carter 4, and saying they've both been out for like a week, or they've both been out for like 2 weeks, something. They came out very close to each other.
Yeah.
And I remember like Elliot Wilson basically gloating about, you know, which one are you still listening to, knowing damn well nobody was listening to that fucking Carter 4 bullshit. And for me, I wasn't listening to either anymore. I had already moved on to listening to whatever else.
Well, it's like, what was anyone listening off of Watch the Throne anyway? It was...
I think the whole thing was just with that Birdman beef that got ignited from the Ham record on there.
Yeah.
That, you know, there was obviously going to be the comparison of who put out the better record. And it wasn't, like, as publicized, let's say, as, you know, my 9/11. But at the same token, I felt like it was clear that the world was fucking with Watch the Throne much harder than they were fucking with Carter 4. They loved Otis. They loved Redacted's in Paris. They were loving that whole album and the artwork and the aura or whatever, you know, the aesthetic nonsense that was tied to that album. Like, I wasn't seeing that same energy for Carter 4. And, you know, it was weird because it's supposed to be like, oh, his big comeback album coming out of jail. But everyone is acknowledging, at least who I'm talking to, that there's ring rust. He doesn't sound like, you know, basically we had witnessed. Yeah, we had witnessed him though, like for 6 or 7 years at that point, steadily rise and rise and rise, and then make crazier and crazier, you know, leaps with his emceeing. And to hear him sound as like lethargic as I had ever heard him before, I was not in denial that this was bad. I mean, I knew that it was, you know, it was just like, it was very sad to me because I don't know, man, like that run, it felt like if he didn't go to jail, he would have been unstoppable. Like he would have just kept, and they, well, what about Rebirth? I just think Rebirth is a fun stopgap project. If he didn't go to jail, Carter 4 wouldn't sound like this, period.
Yeah, Rebirth is just what he wants to do. Like,
yeah, Carter 4 would have sounded like No Ceilings, but with original beats. That's what it would have sounded like if he never went to jail.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, or like, when we first started recording, like, or near the beginning, when it's like the worst so far. Would you say this is what? And I don't remember. I've only heard this album in full like twice the year it came out and never went back. I Am Not a Human Being. Is this worse than that?
Yeah. I think so.
It is to me in some ways, but they're similar. The only reason I'd say I Am Not a Human Being is better is because it's 10 tracks and it's very clearly not meant to be taken as an album. Yeah. That was always promoted as basically almost like a retail mixtape, a street album, you know, like it was a throwaway.
Yeah, it was loosies and throwaways, and there were like actual takeaways you could
half
get
that
off of
album
it.
had leaked already.
Yeah.
You know? So I just took it as like, this is a stop. Again, like the same as, even if you're not feeling Rebirth, nobody thought Rebirth was the follow-up to Carter 3. We knew Carter 4 was coming because he was already saying C4 on a bunch of leaks.
Well, right. I mean, he was saying that as far back as, I think, Dedication 3. You know, it's... The thing is, like, I remember it being branded as like, he's in jail, here's something new for the fans to support. He'll be out soon. It's 13 tracks, which is why I wonder, because without giving away my takeaway on that, like, I don't know. I haven't heard this album in so long. I just remember it. Obviously, it's stuff from before he got locked up.
The lows are not as
better
low.
than the stuff. Yeah,
the lows are not
better
as
rapping
low
than we get on the Carter 4.
And there's not as many tracks. So, you know, for every, you know, I don't like Gonorrhea, for example. Like, I could go my whole life never hearing that again and be fine.
Puss ass nigga, won't you Gonorrhea?
There's songs like Popular with like little twists, which like they're just not good songs. But, you know, and right above it is a song that, like, if you liked it back then, go back. It hasn't aged well.
No,
I mean, I was never the
right
biggest
above
fan
it,
of that record.
Right above it is one of the funniest songs ever released now. Like, just...
yeah.
When it came out, it might have been like Ones in the Air style, but it's definitely not anymore.
God.
Dated
It was
in a
never
bad
that
way.
for me. It was always, this is the era where it's like Wayne has fully crossed over into popular consciousness in a way that's like he makes records like this now. And I was fine with it because I knew I would always have the mixtapes. He would always do the real shit on the mixtapes because that's what kind of artist he is. But it's like right above it, you know.
With
like,
You is good, even though Drake sounds like Green on there. Like, that's back before he could really sing.
Well, that's back when they still, in some ways, were like, oh, that's the guy we're just going to throw on the song to sing. You know, he sings, too. Remember? Like, it's... That
I know
I
like the title track. It's like kind of a throwback, like almost like Run DMC sounding beat.
That's a good one.
I'm Singles beat on here. That's a great song.
Here's the drive-by I could do to I Am Not a Human Being that you could say it might be worse than Carter 4. It is a very yo-yo-yo tape.
Oh,
for sure.
That's what I'm trying to say, basically.
It's more yo-yo. It is more yo-yo-yo than Carter 4, to the point where I may have mentioned this before on the show, but I got picked up in Northampton, Massachusetts by a bunch of college bros getting off the bus because I was dating a girl that went to school at Smith College, and these 3 college bros picked me up and they were blasting this Gonorrhea when they pulled up.
I think you've told this story on the show before about these college dudes just blasting Gonorrhea on repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like my home, like I got into Massachusetts and I got in their car and they were playing this Gonorrhea and they're about to drive me to this all-girls college. And I'm just thinking like, well, number one, these are going to be the last men that I see for the weekend until I get back to this bus stop. And they love this fucking Human Being bullshit. They love it.
But that's successful branding because you can tell he's coming off a Rebirth. Look at like his logo on the cover. Well, bro, it's like sort
you
of
can
Hot
like an
Topic.
album that's yo yo yo. Like The Massacre by 50 Cent is if it's not a yo yo yo, what do you call an Italian yo yo yo? Like a Guido, basically.
Right, but it wasn't marketed to them. It just resonated with it.
Is that how you would do it?
You know.
They love The Massacre. Like, I remember when that shit came out, every Italian that I knew was bumping The Massacre, and they loved Fabulous Real Talk, that album. They were obsessed with Real Talk by Fabulous.
Massacre being a Queen's Yo-Yo-Yo album actually unlocks so much for me right now. I'm not gonna lie.
The Massacre and Real Talk by Fabulous. Just, like, imagine like a young Pauly D type.
Yeah, I can...
Driving around listening to this. And Moulz is with them because we both work at CVS.
Their dad's just really disappointed that they're just not, listening to Billy Joel. Like, they're like, why are you listening to this?
No Sinatra, no Billy Joel. What is this bullshit?
Yeah. I can see the house, literally. Like, as the kid drives up bumping this, and the mom and dad just look kind of disappointed.
He's already transitioned into like his sort of like, this was intentional. Like, he's on there wearing like, this is like proto truck fit era. Like, he's about to be a skater rocker guy. Like, the Carter 3 was the end of, I would say, purely hip hop Wayne in sense of presentation.
Yeah.
At that point, he became a brand.
Yeah, and with Lollipop being the biggest hit off of that album, he's obviously going to move a little more in that direction.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, and
he really wanted to pivot to his rapping being on mixtapes. I'm almost 100%
and
certain.
I wouldn't have been mad at that at all.
No.
But then once the rapping got bad, I'm like, oh no. I'm like,
The rapping
I'm Macaulay Culkin.
on like
I got
Dedication 6 is really awful. Like, you could tell he thinks he's killing it too. That's the worst part.
Coolio dropped for Dedication 6 hearing it for the first time.
Oh, bro, literally, yes. The album made me nauseous when I heard it. Either it was D6 or D6 Reloaded.
They're like 1.5 points away from each other, and they're both below at 30%. Who cares which one's worse? Really,
the listening session literally made me like, I don't know if it was the transcoding or how it was mixed, but like in the way he's rapping too, with the vomit flow, it's just like, can this guy slow down? What happened to him? He kind of like turned into Eminem. Did he forget how to flow?
I'm glad this closed the season, because I think this album and Encore have a lot of parallels. Grand opening, grand closing. Like, really.
Yeah, you're on shaky. It's not like you'll never like anything going forward, but you're officially on shaky ground from now on forever.
And ultimately, Eminem never really fully recovered. You'll get a few tracks an album.
You get a few tracks every album. It's like, really, other than Funeral, where I've been at with Wayne.
Yeah.
Since this album, and it's depressing to me.
Wayne at least got Funeral. I'm kind of hoping Eminem gets an album like that eventually, but I've stopped hoping that it ever happens.
You know what it could have been if he had an editor, Music to be Murdered By, because if you take the good songs from, they're probably his least commercial sounding albums ever, and if you take the best 5 or 6 tracks from each of them, you'd have probably the best Eminem album, at least since Relapse, Oh,
by far, yeah. That's damning with faint praise, but yeah. But, like, it would be close to Relapse, honestly.
Mel, I put in the chat here a song from the fabulous Real Talk album. Imagine, like, a Pauly D. S. Guido pulling up outside your house to pick you up so you guys can hang out.
Oh my god.
And this is what's playing when you get in the car.
Let me see.
The year is 2005, winter 2005.
And live what you saying on them beats. Real talk. 1, 2, 3. You don't really wanna fuck with me. Get in the way, you can get yourself shot. Fuck the cops.
Okay.
You on my block, fucking with a gangster nigga. 1, 2, 3.
You know what? This sounds like this would have been playing in the background of The Sopranos if it kept going and going and going. Like
AJ was his friends.
Yeah. I guess, man, we're in a bad era.
There's a certain genre of mid-2000s rap that is just, this could have been in a scene of The Sopranos that's supposed to be funny, but ends up being really depressing on rewatch.
Yep, and there's definitely a brand of underground rap from like 2000 to 2008 where you could say, yeah, this could have definitely been in the background of like a scene on Breaking Bad. I think LP got a song on like one of those "I'll Sleep When You're Dead" songs, like in a party scene on Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah. Well, and then there's the one scene where it has the Mash Out Posse song from the MOP Rock album.
Yes, the Rock album. How could we forget?
God.
What Mel, did we do something recently where like that came up and like a compilation we did where one of those Mash Out Posse songs was there? Oh no, it was like we did a song that I don't know if it was from a Various Artists mixtape or like a Rap Express soundtrack maybe.
Oh,
we did something where like we did one of the MOP rock tracks.
It was an experiment for sure. It was.
I vaguely remember something from a Rap Express, I think, but yeah,
it was just a weird experiment. I heard the album once.
We all just heard it once.
Yeah, it's like I think in like 07 or 08 there was like a Black Keys like album with rappers. I heard that once too.
Yeah, it was I'm pretty sure it was not the Ski Beats albums that he did, but it was like another thing. Because I very specifically remember a record with like Jim Jones and Mos Def on it, with like the Black Keys playing on it.
Yes. And it's a very specific time and place, and it's like, you're trying to reach an audience that you're not going to reach with this at all.
They were really going at that time, like with the Dame Dash DD172 thing. Like, maybe people will want to hear like Currency and Stolly and like the Cool Kids and Mos Def over like blues. And it's like, listen, don't make me remind you fucks of Blue Blackjack, okay?
I never want to hear that again after the season's over. The name of it, I never want to think about it again.
Mos Def just saw it happen and is like, are you guys writing me a check? Cool. All right. Never mind.
Fucking Blue Blackjack.
But before we go, I have to say, the Yellowbird sauce is gone. I mean, they had it for like a week and a half. It's gone. The fries, gone.
Oh, is it already gone? I didn't check today.
It's got, and I'm thinking, all right, so I ordered, but it was still on the app, so I just ordered like a side of it, and I'm like, I'll make it myself, you know?
Yeah. And they're like, it's gone.
They gave me nothing, and they just like canceled the upcharge. Like they didn't even give me just like a cup of nacho cheese.
That might have been like when they first brought back the Mexican pizza and it was out in like 7 days.
I got the skinny on this Yellowbird, by the way. So this is not an actual flavor. They do have a habanero sauce.
Okay,
but they don't
it's
have
a
habanero. Yeah, it's a company, Yellowbird. It's kind of like when they did the truff gimmick. So, you know, this sauce happens to be somewhat expensive. Like a bottle of the habanero sauce at the grocery store is like $6.89. So probably
Jesus.
like $4.99 in your area, I'd imagine.
Probably,
so, just thinking about how they fucking fuck me. So anyway, to make this sauce, you know, this is an original blend for Taco Bell, which is really tripping me out because they're clearly using this Yellowbird habanero sauce, but it's a habanero ranch. The Yellowbird habanero sauce is almost like a reddish color.
It's like the El Yucateca habanero sauce, where it's like red. Yes. Okay.
It's a little lighter than that, but it's still it's leaning towards red. It's like a very dark orange, and you know, I recall the Yellowbird sauce being like almost
yellow.
Like a mustardy look to it, like a yellow sauce, almost like a freaking eggs. Look like you put some kind of egg.
It makes sense because if you would mix that with like a buttermilk ranch, that would be about the color.
Right. So I'm thinking, but what kind of ranch do they use? What kind of buttermilk ranch? Is it Hidden Valley? I mean, is it their own proprietary ranch? I mean, we're really starting to get into the weeds here. And I'm thinking, is this exactly what it... is it just this habanero mixed with something else, or
Wait,
is it a whole new sauce?
Is it the spicy ranch?
Is it the Taco Bell spicy ranch mixed with the Yellowbird habanero? Is this a whole different thing, which we don't have access to the bare parts, you know?
Wait, what's the one that's on the Chicken Club Chalupa?
The Chicken Club
the Bacon
Chalupa.
Club, the Bacon Club Chalupa. They had like a ranch sauce that's on that.
It would be the spicy ranch. It's also on the. That would also be on the, I believe, cheesy gordita crunch.
Okay, wait. I think that's a different sauce.
You sure?
I think the cheesy gordita crunch sauce is like a pepper jack.
No, it's the spicy ranch.
It is, okay. It used to be a pepper jack. That's why it tastes different now.
They make little alterations here and there and think we won't fucking notice.
Well, also, making a pepper jack sauce is fucking expensive. I get it.
And I'm here to tell you this too, Cam. All right, it's been officially announced for early 2024, fast food rankings too.
Oh.
Because once this McDonald's, the new McDonald's has been rolled out across the country, we need to all talk.
What is the new McDonald's?
So it involves a change to the Big Mac as well as the floppy doppy and the double cheeseburger.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so there's been some changes. It started out here in the West Coast, and it's going to roll out throughout the rest of the country, traveling, east throughout the rest of the year. And by the end of this year, every McDonald's in the country will have been switched over. So what's going on here is a couple changes. Number one, the burger patties are now being cooked on the grill and no longer in the microwave, and they're being cooked with the diced onions on them. So if you've had, for example, a White Castle burger, and you get a little bit of it, that caramelized onion taste with the burger meat, that's a change that I would say, based on the couple times I've had it now, I'm not mad at.
No,
and it's definitely something I could get used to.
It sounds appealing.
Yeah. Now the next change is they're promising saucier burgers, so more Big Mac sauce on the Big Mac, more ketchup and mustard on the double cheeseburger and regular cheeseburger. I don't love this, especially because when I got the Big Mac, and we'll return to the Big Mac very shortly, the Big Mac has the same problem of, it's saucier, but you're still isolating the sauce at times to one side of the burger. So it's like we have a Big Mac sauce cream pie coming out of one side, and then it's completely dry on the other side. I mean, it's an uneven distribution of sauce. Now, to get back to the bun situation here, the floppy doppy, the double cheeseburger, and the Big Mac all are getting bun upgrades, as they're calling them, and they're promising fluffier, softer buns. So the buns now are a lot less floppy on the floppy doppies. They're a little more of a rounded top, and they're a little puffier. I will say, I like the change for the double cheeseburger. I didn't try a single floppy doppy, but for the double cheeseburger, the new bun worked well. It actually feels like a little more substantial as a budget offering.
The double cheeseburger that way sounds good. I'm just with the floppy doppy single. I'm
a little worried about floppy doppy single. I mean, I like it. Yeah, I don't need it to have a slightly rounded top and more puff to it. And I feel like, we call it the floppy doppy, and we call it that for a reason. It's not giving floppy, is what I can say. And finally, I have really bad news, man. The Big Mac is in peril. We need President Trump on this. We need President Biden on this. We need a bipartisan coalition to, of course, Bill Clinton loved McDonald's. Let's get him in on this. Listen, we got to have an all hands on deck meeting as a country. And I know we've been having our issues and our differences lately, but it's time to come together and talk about this new Big Mac. They fucked the Big Mac. They have fucked the Big Mac, okay? Which means America's dead. It's irrefutable proof that America is a dying empire, and the only way we can turn it around is if we fix the Big Mac because of the... All right, so first of all, Big Mac, glossy or matte? It's matte, okay? It's matte. There's no gloss to it. Big Mac bun. There's a slight gloss. I'm seeing a slight gloss to the Big Mac bun like it's fake brioche. Like it's a fake brioche.
No.
And I'm telling you, it's not full brioche, but it's like it's brioching a little bit. And
I don't like this.
I bit into the Big Mac on the juicy side with the sauciness. All right, fully prepared to get the shit in my mustache and in my beard, and I bit into it to give it, a really the best shot that it could have, And let me tell you something. There was a weird. It after my second bite, it kind of just normalized, but there was a weird first bite taste to that top bun that I don't recognize, and I mean, I've had hundreds of Big Macs. This was a new experience. And look, I don't know if I'm being tricked and it's not the bun. It's actually them grilling the onions on the Big Mac. Maybe it's onion overload with onions in the Big Mac sauce, grilled onion on the burger now.
That might be. Okay,
It could be this, but I get a weird sweet taste on my first bite into that top bun. And because of the rounded nature of it, I see the middle bun and then the two patties push outward towards the back. And I'm like, oh, this is not a good bun for holding things together, compact. I'm not loving the ergonomics of all of this. So I'm here to tell you, prepare to lock arms with all of our neighbors, our brothers and sisters in America, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, fucking Buddhist, atheists. I don't give a shit. We need to all come together, and we need to hold McDonald's accountable, because I want them to be number one in fast food rankings part 2. I really do. I'm going to say it right now. I fully intend to go in there and put them at number 1, but I want to see how this plays out throughout the year and what other people think of this, because I got to be honest, man. The floppy, I haven't had the single floppy doppy, but the double cheeseburger is really good. The new double cheeseburger is a winner. Big Mac, I don't know. Did they turn? Here's the thing about the Big Mac. Did you guys turn in 10 into an 8+? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. That's all I'm saying.
It's disappointing, and it's like the Big Mac should be the sesame seed bun. It should be.
It is. No, it is sesame.
But it's looking a little brioche.
But it's looking a little glossy. It's looking a little, like it went through a car wash.
I'm wondering if it just got mixed in with some other buns when you had that one.
No, this is set. Listen, I've had a couple now. I wouldn't come here. I wouldn't come
just
here
one.
From one location either, okay? I've been to both locations. Okay. And I'm telling you, this is not a one-off. This is the future. This is the future. That McDonald's is, going to implement by the end of the year for everybody.
Now, I will say the slight sweetness makes a little bit of sense, because I did try the side of the Big Mac sauce with the nuggets that they are doing now. It did seem a little bit sweeter than the old sauce.
Now, I did have the side as well, the new Mac sauce side.
Yeah.
And I gotta kind of put it on a McDouble style or a double cheeseburger and see how it works in there. I didn't like it with the nuggets. I thought, this is not a nugget sauce.
No.
Okay.
I did half a nugget, and then I did it with fries. Fries were good.
Yeah. I'm sure the fries were good. The nuggets, though, I mean, look, if we were meant to dunk nuggets in Thousand Island dressing, we'd be doing it by now. Bring back the BTS sauces as well.
Well, yeah. We always want the BTS sauce.
We want the BTS. We're part of the army. We love that group of guys,
Just buy out the failing Burger King and get the zesty sauce.
Yes. Oh, my God. Please.
Now, I will say, Burger King, for all its flaws, that $6 meal is the most amount of food you can get in fast food for right now for the price.
What are you getting? A burger, a drink, and a side? style?
Oh no, it is a double Whopper Junior, a 9-piece chicken fry, a small fry, and I think a small drink.
Yeah, maybe I'll swing by there after this.
Yeah. The drink I'm not positive on, but the fry, the chicken fry, and the double Whopper Junior come with it.
I know the marks would be sick. I know that there would be an uprising. There would be all the people would be talking about it's a monopoly, this and that. They can't be allowed to do this. Government intervention, all the bullshit. You need fucking Elizabeth Warren on the case. All right, but I'm telling you right now, if McDonald's bought Burger King and just brought the Whopper and then the zesty sauce to McDonald's, and we're basically treating it like WWE treated WCW, they're just like, yeah, we got the IP now, so we can make the Whopper.
Maybe the surfboard instead of the McChicken, too. I would be okay with that.
Oh, the surfboard How about a surfboard McChicken?
Oh. Yeah.
A surfboard McChicken. Okay? And it starts to be, kind of like late 2001, 2002 WWE, where you get a lot of this cross-branding opportunity. I now own Burger King.
You want to have it your way, pal? Fuck off.
And then they have the McDonald's Burger King menu, and it's like a very reduced version of Burger King's menu.
I mean, as long as it's like their double cheeseburger, the Whopper, and a couple other things, yeah, I'm fine with that. There's 5 items.
Mel, your thoughts?
I mean, I don't think we'll ever get this far because nobody ever addressed the fact that everybody found out during the pandemic that America is content with letting them die. And even the teenagers figured out that they don't want to work them jobs. They'd rather make TikTok. So I think before we even have a chance to talk about the crisis of the new McDonald's recipes and a merger between McDonald's and Burger King, it's more likely, now McDonald's is never going out of business no matter what they do. It's more likely that Burger King will go out of business before they can be acquired. Enough people are going to stop eating at McDonald's to where they won't even get behind our rallying cry that they've killed America's greatest establishment. So,
and then we're just in a dying empire, which is where we were to start.
And that's what I was telling you.
You got to remember, I'm Doomer Mel. I can't.
The Big Mac, everything hinges on this Big Mac. If this doesn't get fixed and America's not all on the same page, if we can't even get a Big Mac, all right, then all I got to say is...
America's in its doomer age.
America's in its doomer age, and it's fucking over. Okay, so Cam, any plugs? Any shout outs?
At this point, plugs. I do have the third. Oh God, what did I name it? The Spanish version, third one for the Bud. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, and Bandcamp. Another beat tape for the Bud on his birthday. I've done 3 of them so far. So. And as far as things I would recommend or shout out, that Jason Isbell doc on HBO Max, great stuff. Also, I'm just going to say, after you guys did the Francis and the Lights and showed me how awesome he is, I do want to say I have a Jason Isbell playlist on Apple Music as a starter kit. It's like 80 minutes. I will post that. And I would recommend listening to it. It is basically country/country rock, but I think Jason Isbell is the best American songwriter, the best American white songwriter of the 21st century. Mel's heard a couple, and he knows it's true sad boy hours.
It's some heart-wrenching shit.
Yeah.
So.
Also, Air coming to Prime Video May 12th. Watch Air. I enjoyed it.
Oh, Air. Yeah, I've heard good things about Air.
Yeah. Go see John Wick 4. It was awesome. The Hotline Miami scene. Just, you have to see it in theaters. Just go see it. But other than that, thank you guys for having me. But I got nothing else. I'll always shout out to the Bud and the Mother.
Well, The family. I know I won't call you that because I hate the Fantastic Four, and plus you're 3. But you are Rap Rankings' first family. So
there you go.
The mother, the bud, the father.
Thank you.
They form the family of Rap Rankings. They are the first family. So thank you for in this place. What do they be saying? What's the phrase? Hive of villainy, and it's something else. But you bring a family atmosphere to this. It balances it out.
And Cam, I do want to thank you. You know, I know there are a lot of people on the left who are not really open-minded with talking to someone like Mel. So, you know, to be able to cross the aisle like this, and you know, this is what really America is all about. So, thank you.
Oh my
I don't know, right?
Oh shit!
I don't be over there. I don't know. I don't like the people. I don't know. That's Jesse.
I don't like them.
Yeah, exactly. Rhode Island Reds. Oh, I don't like them. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, listen. I've got nothing else other than for people who have been tapped into this. There was an instance in the song. He says, they say love is the key. Somebody changed the lock. Bad bar. I guess people say that, not like those exact words all the time for it to be like known as an adage or anything. But the they say alert has happened, and the they say count is now at this point in the album 7. There have been 7 they say lines at this point. More to come.
God.
If you want to know the life is
so
count,
bleak.
Yeah, the life is count is at what now?
Oh, actually, my mistake. The they say count is 5. The life is count is 7.
Okay, because I feel like life is more prevalent on this album.
They say is 5. Life is at 7. They say it's 5.
God, just
so,
sometimes they're the same. Sometimes it's they say life.
Yeah, they say life is right. That's the combo, you know. But
God,
this time it was love. They say love is the key. Okay.
Jesus, this is like opposite of the Isbell doc where he talks about writing lyrics with his wife who has an English degree, and she's like crossing out all the cliches and like, no, do it again. No, do it again.
I love that. Love that idea. But yeah, no, he was, I've only chalked it up to Cam because, I mean, you'll hear it during the review, but my theory is that he just had a lot of time to think about life in there, you know?
That makes sense.
And they say stuff is a crutch. Like, you know, because he's trying to find his way back into rapping. Like, you know, they say this, they say that, but life that's just, you've been in a cell for like a year.
Yeah. So. They say is definitely you've started rapping again, and since he doesn't write stuff down, it's his crutch phrase. And he never goes back and re-edits it.
Right. It's just there to set up whatever's coming next, which often isn't good in this era of his career, but hey. There you go. For the people just that were following at home, I had to give them an update on the count. So that's all I got. Yeah, I guess we'll see you. We'll see you next time. Yeah.
See you next time.
We must continue with this Carter 4 review. Unfortunately,
we got to keep traveling through this fucking dilapidated building. Like 1, 2, and 3. It was in peak form. Its 3rd year. All these amenities and like, you know, they added like a fucking water slide. It was great, and then. When he got locked up, he got under new management and court.
Birdman wasn't paying the rent,
bro.
Now it's
that's Cortez.
Okay, he wasn't paying the rent, and then Wayne got out, and it was. Yeah, we'll talk about it, but got nothing else, and I'm gonna get up here and I'm not gonna lie to the audience. I gotta hit one of them doo-doo maneuvers. So.
All right, well,
I'm always telling him because it's a Wayne review. He doo-doo bars, you know.
Much love to the rap family. Later, y'all.
Once Mel hits them maneuvers, we'll be hitting you with that interlude featuring Tech 9 and Andre 3000. So keep it locked. Thanks, Ken.
That's gonna make me shit too. All right,
thanks, guys.
Yeah, peace. Hey, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all of the other episodes, check the link in the description, stop by raprankings.com, or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. And please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to help us grow the channel and continue our journey as hip-hop's first and premier extreme podcast.